Hey everybody, this is Sam Hansen here, bringing to you with, well, a follow-up, I guess? Well, but, actually, it may be, yes, it is a follow-up update, because, follow-up update from the last video I of last week. Wow, I never thought I would, thought I would do, thought I would do an update video yesterday, and I would do a follow-up one tomorrow. Kind of bit of rare, considering I would do, rare. Well, what is rare is the fact that I upload that video yesterday on Thursday instead of, well, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Well, well, if you guys don't recall, in my last video, I had to do a video on Thursday because yesterday was the day that my copies of Daedae Book 1 have arrived. And speaking of which, I have some good news for you all. Now, I know some of you have been waiting for, well, months, maybe throughout 2020, but the day has finally come. Daedae, The Adventure Begins, aka Daedae Book 1, has now been officially been released, or published, whatever you like to call, and it's now available on Baby Book. Now I know some of you may be asking, why is it on Amazon than on BookBaby? Well, if you want to know the full detail, or want to know what happened after I made that video from yesterday, well, let's dive in. Now, I'm sure some of you, some of you wondering, well, why is it that I have stated numerous times that I would release Daedae on Amazon, but as you saw in the description in the trailers, which by the way I will I'll get into later. Which I will get into that later. Stated that it sends to a link to Baby Book. Well, if you want to know that, here I'll tell you. Well, I'll tell you what happened. Now, not long after I made that update video today, I went over to I went on Amazon and tried to search for the book. But unfortunately, it, wasn't there. Now, at first I was a bit confused, and even my parents were also a little confused too. But then it turns out that, after I emailed Baby Book yesterday, they sent me an email and they told me just today that since my order for the book was a POD, aka print on demand distribution, and since it is since it was made from Baby Book, it is right now just available on BookBaby. Now I know some of you are a little disappointed that Daedae isn't on Amazon like I promised, but keep in mind. But I want you guys to keep in mind that I'm just new to the whole book published, and I'm just new to BookBaby. BookBaby. So, and like I said numerous times, this is my first time doing a published book, so I don't know that much about BookBaby, even my baby. Yet. So, I'm still learning of how books and how they release them. And speaking of which, and now I know that today that they released their books on their websites instead of just on Amazon. So, yeah. so yeah, I guess I guess after learning about that, I guess I have a long way of learning about, well, BookBaby and such. Well, and how they baby. So I guess it turns out that turns out that some books that were released. Well, I'm sorry if I'm losing my collective words. Um. I just can't say any more right now. But I just want. But let's just say that it's just now on BookBaby, and for those of you who know what of how Baby Book works, please feel free to comment down and tell me how and tell me about how tell me on how if how Baby's books distribution works, like the well it, on such. Well, anyways, sorry if I'm collecting my words right now, but let's just say that that the that when I heard that Baby Book distributes their books on in Amazon, I was, well, confused, but a little bit understandable. Okay, well, let's just say it's now become a little complicated than that, but that's all. Sorry. And as for the Amazon release, well, there's not much more to say regarding of when it will release on Amazon, but let's just say we'll just see what happens in the future, or how my book will do during its first release. Now I know I'm stuttering a bit, and I know I'm having a really hard time, and I'm having a hard time trying to collect my words on how to say about trying to. Somebody may be asking about why BookBaby. I really, why isn't releasing BookBaby to Amazon? Well, if you're some people who know about book works, then feel free to comment down to either me or the rest of the reviewers who want to know how Baby Book distributes their books. So and with that said, that's for the details. Now, well, but I'm not gonna be, well, sad right now. I mean, today is the day that my book has finally been released, and man, it's been one heck of a ride for me to release this. So yeah, right now we'll just have to wait, and like I said, we'll just have to wait and see what happens in the future, if it will be, well, when it will be released on Amazon. I don't know, but like I said, we'll just have to wait and see. And with that said, that's all the details. That's the more great details I do in the last just like I mentioned in my last video. And so, and as for how the book would do, and if all of you are curious as to what would be for the future for for the other two books, I'll wait until Monday, and I'll do my next video, and I'll discuss regarding the other two books. Well, once how my first book how my first book does well. How my first book does on sites. You know what I mean. So with that said, this is Sam Hansen signing off, and we'll see how my first book turns out. And I have if you all want to see that how the wanna read book way, click in the link in the description. Click the link in the description below the below the video to search BookBaby, or if and you can also search for the links to it in the book trailers in the description of the book trailers and and, well, until then, like I said, until then, this is Sam Hansen signing off, and I hope to wish the best of luck for my first ever published book. Well, Daedae, at least. For Daedae, I mean. See you all soon.